So we have what we call a 2-week...
I'm sorry. I just realized I didn't hit record. My bad.
That's okay.
Do you mind if we start over again?
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, ready.
Okay. So, I kind of just talking about going back to just working with shepherds, emotionally. As you know, shepherds are very emotional dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, meaning that she's very aware of her surroundings, and they can be very nervous with new things that come about. And so, when we're working with an animal who has been like this for possibly all of her life, and she doesn't know any better, we now have to teach her how to walk as normal as we could possibly get her.
Okay.
She may never be completely normal, what we see in a 4-legged dog, but it will be normal for her.
Right.
Okay, so which means that this 2-week period is all about the adjusting period, getting her skin adjusted to the device, getting her adjusted into learning how to use the device, just putting it off and on is going to be very important.
Hey.
She found a toy. Positive reinforcement is a huge thing for these shepherds.
You bet.
Because they can be very fearful of their surroundings that they have to be. So the biggest thing for me is don't feed into the manipulation.
Right.
Because they are very good at that. If she cries, there should be absolutely nothing painful about putting that device on.
Okay.
The biggest other thing is really just handling her stump outside of the device. And I'm not sure if Dr. Mish talked to you about that, but handling the stump without the device is a huge thing because it helps to just have something used to touching her there. So when the device is off, rub it down, put your hands on the bottom of the stump. Get her used to having that sensation. It's obviously not painful,
Mm-hmm.
so putting the device on will definitely not be painful.
Right,
It's all going
right.
to be emotional here, from
Sure.
here on out. So let's go over. I'll go over some exercises with you
Okay.
once we get the device on, and it'll be some basic weight bearing exercises. We'll get her walking. We'll see what she's going to do, and then I'll just kind of show you some tips on how to help with that.
Okay.
Rehabilitation is a huge thing. Do you guys have a rehab center in your area?
Have a what?
Rehab center?
I don't think.
No,
we-
our vet said that she would work with us, but
Okay.
we don't have a proper rehab center
Okay,
for dogs.
Rehabilitation is a big part of getting these guys back to as normal as possible.
Okay.
We could put a device on them, but they are going to need some sort of rehabilitation, just like in humans. Humans are the same way. When they have a missing limb, we have to build that prosthetic to count for the missing limb that they don't have. And so it feels different. You don't have that foot that hits the ground anymore. You have from maybe here to here that hits the ground. Now they have to figure out where to put their foot.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Same thing with these guys. The wonderful thing about dogs, cats or animals, is that they really don't have the word "I can't do it." So in learning how to do it, if they figure it out, they're just gonna do it, that's
Right.
what makes it so amazing.
Sure.
Okay. It's just now we just have to make it really positive for her. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go over wearing schedule. This is on 2 sides. There's actually one side talks about how to care for the brace.
Okay.
It's extremely easy. Everything in the device is washable, it's replaceable, refurbishable. The plastic form that you see on the outside, that's the form that we took of the cast molding. That's her leg.
Okay.
So we want to be extremely careful and just take really good care of it. Meaning don't run it over with a car
Right.
and don't put it in your oven.
Okay.
I
I
say
don't
that.
think that'll be a problem.
I say that because it's probably happened. So,
The other issue is there's always seem to be other dogs present, so
Okay.
that's the only other thing that we gotta make sure it's not gonna be considered a chew toy or something like that, so.
yes. In the beginning, it's going to be only under supervision
Mhm.
until she gets used to it, until her environment gets used to it. Come in,
I'm
Sam.
sorry you're being recorded.
It's okay.
When you get to the stopping place, I have to steal her and we'll tag out.
Okay.
Part 2.
Okay.
Sounds
all right,
good.
right, thanks, Steph. So, just, if you want to wash it, mild soap and water, wash it down. There's going to be a neoprene pad in there specifically for her. That you can actually take out. I would hand wash it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Don't put in the dryer. I don't really know what it's going to do in the dryer.
Just let it dry now.
Just let it dry naturally.
Okay.
The only thing about the neoprene is that they take a long time to dry.
Mhm.
So if you need to, it's probably rare unless she's getting in mud or something like that, that you'll
Right.
need to clean it that much.
Okay.
But if you want to, that's fine. The foam, the white foam that you saw,
Mhm.
is a diabetic foam. It's actually what we call an Aliplast foam.
Okay.
And so it actually will form itself to the anatomy. They use it in the human world for people
Got
who
it.
wear orthotics. So everything on our devices is human grade. It's
Got it.
very stable.
Okay.
And within that foam, you will see compression marks. So it's a diabetic foam, and we use it for our patients because they can't talk to us and tell us, hey, there might be something going on here.
Right.
Some dogs are very stoic and they'll tell you, and then some dogs, like her, will probably tell you. Okay, meaning that in the foam, you'll see certain compression marks, and it changes like a grayish brownish color. It's compression in the foam, meaning that there's a certain amount of pressure being put in that area.
Right.
Now, is it causing an issue? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Check her leg and make sure it's not causing an issue,
Right.
okay? It's like packing down the soles in your shoe. It's like packing down your sandals. You will see marks in there.
Right.
It's just, is it causing an issue?
Right.
In the human world, they use it because sometimes they can't feel their extremities very well. And so when you have that sore, and they don't see the sore, they don't feel the sore, they end up getting this horrible infection.
Got it.
That's how a lot of diabetics ends up, they lose their limb because of things like that. Well, because these guys can talk to us, that's why we use it. So it makes it very helpful for us.
Okay.
Anytime the device is off, you do want to check her whole limb. The stuff specifically,
Sure.
down here where her ankle bones are, there's a very bony little area. This is where her intertarsal region is. There's two joints here and there's another joint here.
Okay.
And so all these little bony areas, if you feel, they're really prominent. Those are the areas that you really want to specifically always look at.
Okay.
Okay. Do check down by her stump. There shouldn't be a lot of pressure down here. But always check because, you know, if she's moving a certain way or she's seeing a certain way in the device, that could be friction too.
Okay.
Okay.
And when there's a friction mark, I mean, I'm assuming the hair gets,
You'll see hair loss.
Hair
You may see a
loss.
peak irritation. She has a nice pad down there, so always check the pad to make sure you're not seeing some kind of irritation.
got it.
It will definitely show on her. That's why I always check. So if it doesn't show on the phone, check anyway. Okay. So as far as break-in schedule, you guys, we call it the 2-week adjusting period.
Right.
We give them at least 2 weeks because it takes about 10 to 14 days to adjust to a device, even for
Okay.
humans. That's meaning taking it off, putting it on several times a day. Okay.
Okay.
The week 1, I like to have it on for an hour, 3 to 4 times a day, always off at night. Okay.
Okay.
Always supervise, and I do know, people are busy, people work. Do as much of the schedule as you possibly can.
Got it.
Okay. I know it's not always ideal for you guys, but to get her, this is what we have found works the best for these guys. Okay. Walking is going to be extremely important. Now, she doesn't have to be walking for the full hour. I would say, at least give her a good 5-10 minutes, maybe 15-minute walk. She will wear out. She will get very fatigued because this is a new way of walking.
Right.
So she has to learn to use her muscles. And her muscles back there they are atrophied. And so they will start to go back up. She may be a little bit tender and sore sometimes, just like us if we do too much too soon or haven't used a muscle in a while. They get sore just like we do.
Sure.
You're so antsy over there.
She's just
antsy.
taking it all in.
Yeah, and this is going to be a big day for her. The second week, as long as everything is going well that first week, meaning you're not seeing hair loss, irritation, something's not changing,
Right.
increase it by 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 times a day.
Really?
Okay, yeah. By that time, are you guys coming back for your follow-up, or are we going to be?
Yes,
You are,
we'll be
okay.
back.
Perfect. Then we can see how she's doing. We can see if we need to make any changes.
Sure.
Of course, in the meantime, between now and then, give us a call if you have any questions, any concerns.
Right.
Because anything can come up between now and then. That's why we give it the within 2-week period. And we also give you that at least, do any adjustments today to get her as perfect as we can get.
Right.
Now she has to show us what she's going to do in it.
Okay.
Meaning that if you see something, just let her walk in it for a little bit. Let her, sometimes 2 or 3 days you might see something, sometimes you don't see anything for 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. If she's doing fantastic, then fantastic. Okay.
She'll do great. I have all the confidence in the world.
I do
She'll
too,
great.
and there's always a learning curve with you guys and with her guys,
Sure.
with her. So it's just really about, especially for shepherds, I stress this because it's all about positive reinforcement. Again, they're very aware of their surroundings. They're very,
Sure.
very intelligent dogs. They do get it. They do get it. So, do you have any questions?
Well, the only thing I can foresee happening is she's going to immediately want to try to maybe pull it off or expect
Possibly,
it.
it's just,
Is that common? I
you
mean,
know, in the beginning, we kind of just let them do what they're gonna do just to figure it out. Oh, this
Right.
is something different on my leg. They'll turn around, they'll sniff it. She may start to lick or bite at it. You just tell her, you tell her to leave it. You're definitely a puppy, aren't you? Tell her to leave it, and she'll eventually get it. Anytime you ever see her mouth it. Now, these guys are extremely smart. If you ever notice her, like one day she's starting to pick at a particular spot, she might be trying to tell you something. Check her skin, make sure something's not changing, okay? Their anatomy and their gait changes all the time, just like ours do.
Okay.
You and I do not walk the same. Her and another shepherd are not gonna walk the same,
Got
so, okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead, I do actually have a meeting, I apologize. I'm
Nope.
gonna have, Seth come in here and finish when I'm
Okay.
done here.
Sounds
So
good.
I'll let you guys look over that and just read
Okay.
over it, and I will be right back.
Thank you very much.